And so it's clear to me, and I'm sure it's clear to you right now, that the current mayor of London does not care about our communities. He does not care. I think most people would agree with that. The current mayor of London does not care about our children. The current mayor of London does not care about our younger generation. And in my opinion, he never intended to keep these promises. And so how can we believe anything he says? How can we believe him? I know I no longer do. The truth is, our future and the future of our younger generation is in our hands. And it's up to you and me to change that future actively. And that's what I plan on doing as your next mayor of London. So I know that's some really heavy information, but we've got to know the facts. Most of you are not surprised to hear this. We know what's happening on the ground, and we see what happens on the back of it. And I'm going to share with you the shocking numbers of how that's manifesting in crime, in unemployment, and in mental health. But honestly, I want to hear from you right now. Do you think community is important for Londoners, and why? And again, tell me that if that's true for your city as well. Do you think that investing in our community is going to help our violent crime? Is it going to help our unemployment? Is it going to help our mental health? Do you believe that the current mayor of London has failed in his promises for our communities, and why? And finally, do you think we need new leadership? Do you think we need new ideas to take our city in a new direction? And again, I'd love to hear from you, and no matter what platform you're in. I'm getting all your comments coming in here right now. Wow, there's a lot of them, and I want to see more. So wherever you are right now, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, before or during or after the broadcast, please leave me your comments. There's some great messages coming in. I really appreciate all of these. We got Brand Camp Marketing on Instagram saying, Brian for mayor, I appreciate this. We got Jason Boyle on Instagram saying, you need to run for government. Brian for mayor 2021, you sound like the right choice. Thank you so much, Jason. We got RBSA Bidong on Instagram says, for the win, Brian. Thank you very much. And the truth is, we are doing this to win. We're not doing this for any other reason. We've got Conscious Brotherhood on Instagram saying, I watched your ayahuasca documentary last night. So good, Brian. Thank you very much. I forgot to say that in addition to the 1,000 episodes we broadcast here on London Real, we've also broadcast 5 feature-length documentary films that we give away for free because it's important to invest in our communities. We got Van Can on Instagram says, hey, Brian, you're the best. Thank you, man. Moment Sambi says, you're a good man. I appreciate you. We got Claudia Gitz on Instagram says, people help Brian. This is our last chance to have freedom. They want to take all of our freedoms and choices away. Support Brian. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Some more people on Instagram saying support Brian. Thank you very much. Kimmy Harvey on YouTube says, vote for Brian Rose. Keep the freedom. May you become mayor. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Matthew Sri on Instagram says, our mayor. Thank you so much. We got Mukmufo on Instagram says, Brian, you're great. Thank you. Ian Brixton on Instagram says, thank you for being the solution. Having experienced knife crime firsthand, I can honestly say that since Sadiq came to power, things have gotten worse. And I'm quoting directly from Ian Brixton, boy. And Ian, like, you know how serious this is in Brixton. I appreciate your thoughts. He says, he goes on to say, the youth don't have things to do, and it makes them more likely to be a part of it. You've said it right there. If we don't give our youth options, then it's our fault that they result to crime. It's our fault that they result to gang violence. We need to step up and give them options. And I have solutions on how we can do that, and we can make it happen now. Thank you, Ian. I really appreciate that comment. Some other great comments coming here. We got Tams Khan on Instagram saying, nurturing young people and creating an acceptable community is very important. Glad to see you aim to help them. I appreciate you. We got Jonolda on Instagram saying, hashtag stop the violence. Thank you, Brian, for your mental support. My pleasure. We got Carl, the Dr. Boxer on Instagram saying, Sadiq Khan has failed us at everything. Ruined housing market, ruined roads in London. Historic black cabs are on the brink of collapse. Knife crime, the story goes on and on. I couldn't even say it any better. We've been talking about this for months. He has failed us on all accounts. He's failed us on his promises. You know, I speak to London black cab drivers every single night, and they are so frustrated. They are barely able to survive, and they are just one part of many parts of this city that has been failed by our current mayor of London. Jaber Haber on Instagram says, I'm from Argentina. Community is very important everywhere. I appreciate you. We've got Dean Okai Sr. Dean, the man I saw in Homerton last Friday. Dean, I really appreciate you. Dean has been working tirelessly in the communities for years, and is really frustrated with the lack of engagement that he's getting from the mayor in London. Dean goes on to say on YouTube, quote, investment in youth engagement will always dissipate serious youth violence. It must be a funded grassroots approach, hand in hand with the strategic map for delivery. Very well said, Dean. I really appreciate your help. And Dean, again, has been working tirelessly for years on this, but he's been frustrated for the reasons of this. He has not got support from the mayor. He has not gotten funding from the mayor. But as he said to me, quite frankly, in front of the people last night, all he gets is legalese and legal talk from someone who's never run a business, for someone who doesn't care about the community, and someone who can't tell him where the money's gone. And Dean, I appreciate your candor last Friday, and I look forward to working with you in the future to build on our communities. And I know you're going to like the ideas I'm going to share with you shortly. We've got Mrs. Bolus on Instagram saying, yes, getting involved with the community, mentoring, and maybe allowing churches to do those things will help the youth with knife crime. It's in my heart to help our youth, but don't know how to start. Our youth centers in Newham have closed already. Thank you, Mrs. Bolus. I appreciate that, and I'm going to be in Newham next week to speak to you and your community. The reason I'm going to places like Homerton and Tower Hamlets and Newham is because I want to see what's happening on the grounds. There's no other candidate and no other leader that goes out on the ground and talks to people like you. People are surprised when I'm going out there. What are you doing here? Why are you here? The question is, why aren't they there? All of your leaders should be in your communities every single week talking to you, finding out what's the problem. You know, I'm shocked that they're not there on a regular basis. So I appreciate you. I'm going to come see you. And again, we have to get our community centers open. We've got to get anything to engage with the youth, whether it's a boxing club or a church or a daycare center, anything to engage with our youth. And I'll talk more about that shortly. We've got Golaz Gold Spoon on Instagram saying, yes, you are talking about what's right, and I appreciate you. And finally, we've got a question here. D of the Original on Instagram says, Brian, what is your mindset every single day? To be honest, affirmations and gratitude practices are really important to me. I also meditate every day. For me, I affirm where I want to be in the future. So I talk about the positive things I want to do, and I say it as if it's true every day. And honestly, I'm grateful every day for the beautiful things I have, because I haven't always had them. I haven't always had a great community like people like you. I haven't always had a family. I haven't always had my sobriety. I haven't always had my health. And so I'm grateful every day to be alive. And honestly, I'm grateful to be able to serve you. You know, a lot of people look at the job of mayor as one big headache. For me, it's an incredible opportunity to serve the people of the city that did so much for me. This city saved my life. This city has done great things for me. I can never repay what this city has given to me. And so doing the hard work as mayor will only be a drop in the bucket for what I owe to this city of London, and I plan on giving it back in spades.